You're listening to Big Man in the Woods podcast. He's my scout leader.
Hello, episode 14 here on Big Man in the Woods podcast, and we've got a wicked podcast for you. Went off to do a course over the Easter bank holiday to learn about axe, knife and tomahawk throwing. Yes, you'll find out all about that in just a few moments. But I want to say Happy Easter. It's been a glorious Easter bank holiday weekend. As I said, I've just done the course, spent some time with the family and kids, and it was absolutely amazing. And yeah, the voice is a bit strange because I've got a cold.
Big man in the woods. Big man in the woods. Big man in the woods. And here's your host, Bud Yates.
So before we get onto the interview I did while doing the course, I just wanted to run through a few things before the interview in episode 14. I wanted to say something I found out just the other day about Shark Tinderbox. Did you know about them? Yeah, they make leather stuff and they sell knives and fire goodies and stuff, but they do a whole load of stuff for the TV and film industry. We didn't know that until just a couple of weeks ago when it slipped out that they made some stuff for Channel 5's 10BCC. 10,000 BCC. BCC? BC. 10,000 BC. That's the one. We'll get there in the end. So well done to Shark Tinderbox and Beaver Bushcraft for that. So what I want to talk about in this podcast, before we get into the interview, as I keep saying, a few little news items. Don't forget, Wednesday, the 8th of April, so just a few days away, Bear Grylls' second series on Channel 4, The Island, that kicks off. 2 islands this time, 28 people, 2 islands, 1 island full of 14 men, and the other one full of 14 females. I wonder if anyone tried to swim across to get friendly. Don't know. This week's we kick off with the men's island. Just a little bit of info. It's located on the Pole Island in Panama. There we go. So that kicks off this week. Going to be really looking forward to that. Also, want to say Gadget Show, Channel 5. Why am I talking about that camping? Got no relevance? Well, it has, because I'm going there this weekend to go and see Gadget Show live in the Birmingham NEC. I went there last year and found quite a few cool little camping gadgets. So I'm going to go again this time, see what new things are on the market. And if I find anything, I'll let you know. But what I want to know is, do you have a favourite camping gadget? Let me know. Drop me an email. mark@bigmaninthewoods.co.uk, or you can even just post it on the Facebook page wall. That'd be even cool. What else have we got to say? Well done. Cheesy round of applause to Emma Witherall. She's won a year supply. I'm super high with this, son. A year's subscription to the Bushcraft Journal. Over the bank holiday Easter, I run a overnight competition. It was something like 12-hour competition from 8 at night to 8 in the morning to win that year's subscription. And Emma Witherall was lucky winner of that. Congratulations. And if you do want to subscribe to the Bushcraft Journal, it's 20 quid, 19.99. So 20 quid a year. It's bi-monthly journal, and if you want to buy it per edition, it's like 4 quid and 99, I think, off the top of my head. Really cool, because I write for it. And also, please, 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 can you subscribe to either via iTunes or Stitcher or iHeartRadio, however you do it, and leave a really cool comment. I got this one just a few days ago.
Mark's podcast is a great listen. He's just an ordinary bloke working in an ordinary job, but yet finding the time to discuss, describe and explain interesting things. Most importantly, though, from his real-world perspective. Mark doesn't have a bushcraft school or a gear shop. His reviews and opinions are his, having tried and tested the equipment and techniques personally. If it doesn't work, he'll tell you. Smiley face. Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. Right, shall we crack on with the real episode 14 of Big Man in the Woods, where I headed up to Pontefract up in Yorkshire Way. Took us like 5 and a bit hours. Oh my god, yeah. We had to do some pickups on the way and pick people up and drop them off and blah, blah, blah. But hey, it was really cool. We spent a whole day learning how to throw knives, axes and tomahawks safely. That's the whole point. And we teamed up with the main man himself, Little John Taylor. Little being a bit of a sarcastic nickname for him, because he is just a bit taller than me. Ex-copper. He was interested in throwing knives about 10 years ago. He went over to Texas, Houston, to learn about how to do it properly, and then came back to the UK and set up the Knife Axe Tomahawk Throwing Association UK. Website is knifethrowing.co.uk. Something that we as Scout leaders do in our spare time. The I.E.A.T Scouts boys, when we get together, we do like to do a bit of axe throwing competition, but we thought we'd learn how to do it safely, correctly, and also so we can teach other people, Scout leaders, as well as the young people of Scouts, on how to throw knives and axes and tomahawks safely. So I hope you enjoy this episode. And if you did, maybe you do throw them yourselves, let me know. Drop me an email, mark@bigmaninthewoods.co.uk.
On iTunes, Spreaker, iHeartRadio and online. You're listening to Big Man in the Woods.
Right, so it's episode 23 of the Urban Bushcraft podcast, and
Episode 14 of
14.
the Big Man in the
Catching
Woods. Nearly there.
Yeah.
So let's quickly explain our location, Ray.
We're 20 miles south of York
Yes,
City, about that?
that
Yep.
sort of area, yes, in Yorkshire. God's country.
God's country.
I've certainly let you come through the old passport barrier, so we've got you up from the south. You're now in Yorkshire.
It was a bit weird because, I didn't know these places existed outside the M25. So outside the M25, the world doesn't exist.
There is life outside there, I can assure you. A far
Intelligent
calmer
life as well.
A far calmer life as well.
So let's explain while we're here. Knife throwing, axe throwing.
Axe throwing. We're on a scout leader course for axe throwing to learn how to axe throw safely.
Do some training
and then
courses.
instruct our young people.
Exactly. And we're here at the number one place in the UK.
Definitely, virtually the only place in the UK that does this sort of course. Safety first, where we throw axes, knives, anything we can think of that we can make stick into a target. Safely, though, safely.
Exactly. Now, if you're a regular listener to both podcasts, you'll kind of go, hang on a minute, what's that Yorkshire man talking? Is he a new presenter? No, it's our instructor for the weekend, John Taylor. John, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm 63 years old. I've been throwing now 8-9 years seriously. I've always been interested in knife and axe throwing, how it works. I think it was about 2006. I really took up the sport of knife throwing into targets, bullseye style targets where you literally throw at them and try and get the highest score. I just didn't get any further, so I went over to Austin, Texas, went all the way over there, learned from the experts over there, came back, founded our club that we have here now, and we're now sat in a location where we have 15 throwing ranges, where we've got wooden targets, and all we do is try to throw them safely and make them stick into them as many times as we can accurately.
Sounds good. So let's just briefly talk about your organisation that you've set up, your association.
Okay.
Go for it. Tell us a bit about it. What's it called?
It's called the Knife Axe Tomahawk Throwing Association UK, and we have our own internet site, knifethrowing.co.uk. That was founded about 8 years ago now when I came back from the USA. Since then we've now expanded from what was a couple of targets to, as I say, about 15 throwing areas now where we meet up every fortnight. 20 or 30 people from all over the UK come to us, learn how to throw, and then take the sport into US and European championships. Yeah.
Excellent. So when people think of knife throwing,
Okay.
the image that gets into my mind straight away is
Somebody strapped to a spinning wheel.
exactly in the circus, girls holding the balloons, spinning around.
Yep.
Is that really knife throwing?
That is knife throwing in its true essence, actually, going back years and years when you had the circus performers. We've taken that actual act of knife throwing now and made it into a sport similar to sort of archery, in that we throw at targets and see who can get the highest score. I have personally seen people in the USA perform what we call the Wheel of Death. I hasten to add, after about 5 years practicing. Definitely.
So the game that we played, the snooker game earlier on this morning,
Okay.
as I lost, does that
Yes.
mean I'm the target late this afternoon?
No.
Phew.
Nobody today will ever throw around anybody else unless they are far, far more experienced. I have done it before now, after about 4 years practicing continually, maybe twice, 3 times every week, maybe 2-3 hours in those sessions. You have to know that you will absolutely stick that knife every time. If you try and do it at home, you're just an accident waiting to happen.
Absolutely.
Do you still have the moments when you're throwing it and you think, ooh, that's going to be close?
No, you just know exactly every time where it's going to go. It's just one of those things, it's confidence in yourself, you know you stood in the right position, you know they're throwing the right knife, and just using the word knife, everybody knows these as throwing knives, but any true professional will never throw a knife that is bladed, i.e. can cut. There is a tip at the end of it, that's all they need to make it stick in the target. As you progress in knife throwing, you'll be holding the handle, and then you'll also be holding what we call the blade. Holding the blade is completely dull. If you pick up at home any kitchen knife and try and throw it, you're again just an accident waiting to happen. This is the whole idea. You throw literally a piece of steel with a tip on the end of it. You can do exactly the same thing throwing a screwdriver, a trowel, whatever. As long as you have a tip, you can make it stick in that target safely.
Absolutely. So you wouldn't recommend us using our camp knives then?
Not at all whatsoever. First of all, they're not the right shape.
Okay.
Definitely not the right shape. In our club here, we have a little house rule, which is that every throwing knife, if we can still call them that, they are at least 12 inches long. They're just a piece of steel. Probably they may have a handle on them, but the handle is purely there to hold it in the same way every time. But the whole idea is you throw them and you actually hold them in your hand, blade or handle, so you can turn them round, then perform a throw, a same technique throw back from 2 metres back to about 8, 9, 10 metres and stick them in the target.
Okay, so that's knives. Axes. Are we talking about kind of our forest axe, that kind of stuff?
No, this is also another misnomer in the throwing world. We throw what we call tomahawks. An axe, yes, it is an axe because it can still cut, but a tomahawk has a head that is friction fitted into the actual head. The handle just slides through it. As you throw them and hit them on the target, if you were to throw an ordinary axe, the head is fixed in via a wedge or something like that, okay? If you threw that and hit it handle first, from the wrong position, the wrong distance, it would literally smash the handle. The way we use it, the tomahawks don't have any wedges at all. Later on this afternoon, I'll show everybody here how to throw a tomahawk. If it hits the handle, first of all, the head will merely slide down through friction down the handle. It won't smash the handle.
Good answer.
Thank you. So that's something you didn't know already. We'll move on to that this afternoon.
Well, I knew they were friction fitted, but I didn't know that served the purpose of when you were throwing to prevent damage to the handle.
That's the whole idea. I mean, I can throw an axe that is literally with a wedge in the head because I know the distance to throw them from. But an ordinary person, when they pick up an ordinary axe, won't know what distance to throw them from. We'll be throwing 18-inch handles tomahawks this afternoon, and everybody will be roughly about 5 metres away, roughly. But as is the case with everything we found this morning, some people are throwing the little flying angels, as we call them, which are like a small double-headed axe. They throw them into the target. Some people have been throwing from 3 metres, some people have been throwing from 4 metres. It's a very individual sport, is this. You find your way to throw from wherever.
It's not like darts where everyone throws from the hockey.
No, definitely not like darts, because in darts, the actual dart doesn't spin. The whole idea of knife and axe throwing is to purposely make it spin, but make it spin consistently.
Absolutely. What do you think of these guys next door? As we're just hearing,
We're hearing
ching,
various
ching.
clangs and chinks and things falling on the floor. They've only just started, though, to be fair, actually. Some of them are quite good. Some of them are quite good, but some of them are still learning how
Come on, name.
No, that would be unfair.
So we'll just tell you who's here. We've got Jeffrey from Bournemouth, who's he's a bit rusty today. Let's have a look. Oh,
I can hear that one go past my head.
hey!
Double spinning.
We've got Hinkatinky in the middle. He's got 3 angels, and the old man.
He's got no bugs and tartar sauce today, I don't think.
The old man has got all this in the board. So,
No bugs in the tub.
Tartar sauce.
let's talk from beginners,
Beginners, okay.
like us guys. You know, we've had a bit of a mess around in the garden. Where can we get our first knife from?
On the internet, you will be able to buy all sorts of different things that they call throwing knives. Some of them are little accidents waiting to happen. I keep using that phrase, but they are. Some of them are 6, 7, 8, 9 inches long. They are made of inferior spring steel. You have to stand so near the target that they will come back and bite you.
Yep.
With a 12-inch knife, you have to stand so far away from the target there's virtually no chance they will come back and hit you. You have to be aware of that. So on the internet, if you can find any knife that's roughly 12 inches more or longer even, that's entirely your call. First of all, more importantly, they will be safe and they will also be heavier. When you get backpack, I can throw from 6, 7, 8, 9 metres, make them stick in a target. I need something of a substantial weight to be able to get to the target before it even sticks in the target.
Yeah.
So any sort of throwing knife you see, wherever in the UK or the USA, 12 inches or more, absolutely.
Excellent. And does your association sell them? Can we buy?
We have some in stock here, yes. You can buy them from me. Somebody has already bought some from me today. And just like darts, it's very much a case of you will in time find your own shape of knife. I do sell a bog standard knife, which people who start with find is okay. I favour a far slimmer knife. For some reason, it's just the way I hold it and the way I throw it. Mine, I think, are about 13.5 inches made. Custom made, especially for me. There's only 2 people in the world will ever know how much they are worth. Me and the maker. My wife will never find out how much I paid for them.
I think we've got the other guys all behind us laughing around as well. But
We win stuff in raffles all the time.
Yep.
so the angels that I got from you a couple of months ago, I didn't buy at all. I got them in a raffle as well.
Oh, very good. Well done.
Yeah. Do you not remember that competition you ran?
Wink. Yes.
And the other trick is get your stuff delivered to work as well.
Yeah.
Yes, that helps. Yeah.
Exactly. So we bought our basic throwing knife or angel or throwing. What's the next step? Where can we go to learn?
Unfortunately, our association is very much in its infancy. We've only been founded 4 or 5 years, something like that. We have an association range down in Mansfield, Nottinghamshire. There's also one down in Milton Keynes. I'd love for somewhere to be set up down in the London area. I know I've got the interest there in our Facebook group that we have. If you go onto Facebook, just put in our club name, Infact Tomahawk Throwing Association, UK. We're on there. Please join us. You'll meet a lot of very helpful people who are quite happy to share this sport with anybody. Safely, though, safely.
So you do classes as a sport then?
Oh, absolutely, it's a sport. It's just a target sport.
It's no different to archery or rifle shooting in my eyes. It's just far simpler in its own way, because at the end of the day, with this, there's no excuses whatsoever about it was the arrow, the wrong arrow for the wrong bow, the wrong cartridge in the wrong rifle. I'm sorry, with you, it's literally the knife, the target, and then you. The only thing that can go wrong is you.
Absolutely.
So if you're not doing it right, you're the reason why.
Yep. So most of us here are scout leaders. In fact, all of us are scout leaders. But listeners, we have quite a lot of scout listeners. Would you recommend this sport to scouts?
Absolutely. It's 100% safe. I'm now running this course here for scout leaders I'm not sure how many people I've had through, maybe 100 now, I don't know. The whole idea of the course was to actually hand over axe throwing to the actual Scouts organisation. Hopefully, in the next couple of months or so, I certainly know people inside the Scouts are talking to the main headquarters in the UK, and I'm hoping I can go down to their headquarters and show them how to do this completely safely. It's a case of people 9, 10, 11 years old. I've had them throwing axes, no problem whatsoever, completely safely. It is a good sport. It's a thing that people can easily achieve, and it just gives them such an intense pleasure to actually primevally throw it and make it stick in that target. There's just something, it's like a sort of legal drug inside yourself.
Yeah.
And you know you want to do it again and again and get better and better.
It is quite manly, though, isn't it?
It can be, yes. If you want to call it that way, yes, yeah.
I don't want to be rude, though, John, but isn't it sending mixed messages to young people that, when we teach knife skills, we're saying, don't throw the knives, don't stab it in the stump of the tree. When you finish your knife, always resheath it. And now you're telling us that it's fine to throw a knife. Isn't that mixed messages?
It is mixed messages because, as we've talked about before, I don't like young people especially to learn knife throwing. All I'm teaching on this course is axe throwing. You will then hand it on to other young people. I am not teaching you to throw knives to show it to them afterwards.
Absolutely.
Knives, as I've said before, knives have sharp blades on them. They are specifically to cut things. That's what a true bushcraft knife does, any knife does. But these, unfortunately, it's the wordage. These are known as throwing knives, but they are not knives whatsoever. I can take any of my throwing knives, whatever you want to call them now, run them over the back of my hand. They will not cut my hand whatsoever. They are completely dull. There's no sharp edges on them.
Just posing for a photo with paracord Sam?
He won't say anything, he's mic shy.
It's a good job I'm not. No, but the reason I do like to enjoy talking about this is because, to me, it is a sport I took up a few years ago, and it's now opening doors for me that I didn't even know were there. I've taught martial artists, burlesque dancers, lots of ordinary people who come to our range.
Does your wife know about the burlesque dancer, by the way?
Oh, yes, absolutely, yes.
Okay,
yes,
right.
she's met her, no problem at all. Whatsoever, yeah. In fact, one of the other people I've taught is an actor, as it turned out to be. I was asked to show somebody to throw knives live on stage over at Leeds Opera House or wherever it is over there, for a Shakespeare play. Turned up there, I said, yeah, I can teach anybody to throw knives, no problem. Turned up there, the person I actually had to teach was Lenny Henry.
Oh, wow.
Taught him how to throw knives. I'm pleased to say he wasn't very good, because I had to keep going back and teaching him again and again and again. Thank you very much, sir.
Could you?
It must have been a funny experience.
Very funny, yeah. But he had his serious head on by that time. He wanted to be a professional, serious actor, and he was changing his style from the
Was that when he was
comedy.
done Othello?
Othello, absolutely, yeah. I didn't know what he'd done yet. That was the Othello, yeah. I'm told he actually, I didn't see every performance. He did about, locally in our Yorkshire area, he did about 80 performances. Then they took the play down to the West End. I'm told in Yorkshire he only got one of the throws wrong, actually.
Okay.
And he had to realise that every time... Yeah, George. Every time he had to throw the knife, just using the actual blade, as we call it. One particular time, he forgot to turn the knife round in his hand, and it stuck in the handle in the target.
Oh.
It stuck, no problem.
It's in the target.
Yeah, it's in the target.
It all counts.
It all counts. It stuck. Yeah.
So, Lenny Henry, any other celebs? Any name drops?
One smaller star, I suppose you could call him. If you've ever seen the film Snatch.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. In there was a chappie there who played the big bruiser. The big chappie, real broad shoulders. I can't remember
something
his name
McLean.
now. Anyway, I've taught him to throw knives as well. And no other
name drops.
Proper East End gangster looking.
Yeah, but he's not.
Yeah.
Soft as pudding. Yeah,
Because he's not from Yorkshire.
He is actually. He is a Yorkshire lad. Yeah. But I can't remember anybody else. No, that's not. Well, if people, that was just somebody hitting the roof. Actually, I heard that big clang. Actually, stopped me in my tracks. Did that one? He was trying to throw. Yeah, he was trying to do double spin.
We won't name drop so Jeremy doesn't get in trouble for this.
Jeremy, I'm sorry, but that wasn't very good. Let's go back to,
go back to basics
again. Go back to basics. You're starting to run before you walk, Jeremy.
I've got loads in.
Yeah. What was that phrase we used earlier on? Oh, yeah. No, I can't.
No, we can't use that word.
No, I can't use that.
This is a clean podcast.
We can put an explicit tag on. We got told off before. Just have to put a warning if the parents were kids.
You've just given me a chance to think, actually. If somebody would like to go on to, via this medium, go on to YouTube. On there you'll see a video I did about a couple of years ago now. I think the song was called We Are Shining or something. We Are Shining. You'll see a young girl there in a red top. I can't remember the girl's name who was the singer. She was Eliza-Doolittle. Doolittle?
Yeah.
I did the sort of special effects, if you want to call it, for that, where I did a video where this girl dances along a long target board that we set up, and I throw knives round her. So if anybody wants to have a look at that, that's there as well. But we'll go back to it again. Safety. That was after 7-8 years of practicing.
Absolutely.
I knew exactly what I could do, and I knew where she was going to go. It looks quite good, though, does that one? Yeah.
So, us being Southerners, what do you think about our knife throwing skills then?
Honest, go on.
Some people take to it, some people take a lot longer to learn. And that's
a very polite way of putting
diplomatic as I'll be right now. Some people need to spend a lot more hours at it, others have just grasped it just like that. Yeah. Diplomatic as usual.
I'm impressed.
He's answered all the questions I had.
So there, obviously I've done the interview and these two lads don't know what to say anymore, do they? They've run out of stories.
Old man's here.
Eh?
Old man, you must have some questions.
I have no questions.
Oh.
To offer my thanks.
Oh. Yeah.
Thank you, my pleasure. Always my pleasure to hand over throwing. Great job.
Okay, I'll do a solo clap then.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Very good. So, once again, let's plug the association.
Knife, Axe, Tomahawk Throwing Association, UK. Internet site, just put in one word, knifethrowing.co.uk. That's us. It will find us, the association. We are based in Yorkshire. We're hoping next year, maybe the year afterwards, who knows. There could be other ranges in your area.
There is one, I'll just say.
Go for it.
There is one that's been set up by
Mark Gibson.
down in
Essex.
Rayleigh, Southend.
Rayleigh,
Oh, nice.
He's got a nice team going there now, and he'll have his own range set up very soon.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, and Mark has taken to it like a duck to water, absolutely, and it is a good instructor as well, which is very important. Yeah.
Would you also like to plug the World Championships that you guys have managed to secure for the UK this
year?
year?
Yeah, that's
for
awesome.
the first time in the UK, we're actually going to hold what we are calling the World Championships. In that, throwers from Russia, Europe, all over Europe, the UK, USA, about 150 of us will be joining together. I think it's the 22nd, 23rd of August, down in Mansfield, Nottinghamshire. We'll all be joining together to see who is the most accurate out of all those lot. Yeah.
Who's going to win?
Like any other sport, we don't know until the actual day. There are a few favourites. I could be one of them. We'll see what happens.
Did you all see that twinkle in his eye?
It's all on the day. I mean, I've thrown against quite a few of the Russians. They are fantastic throwers, Germans, Czechs, etc. I have taken the first place before in the Europeans, second place a couple of times, but it's like any other sport, just on that day, if you find it, it's your day. And when you do find it, it's a lovely feeling.
Are the countries that enter, you think, well, no chance?
They are good, especially the Russians. I'll keep highlighting them.
They are so disciplined, as are the Germans in their own way. When they take to a sport, they do it 110%. Literally, practice all day long.
Yeah.
They just want to be the best. But sometimes they fail, and some others, like myself, take over from them.
And laugh.
No, I don't ever laugh. I just shake their hand and just walk away because I know what I've done.
But in your head, you're thinking,
loser.
So, just a few quick minutes just to wrap it up.
Go for it.
Tips. Any tips on you can give people for knife throwing, angels, tomahawks? Basic tips that you could help us improve our throwing techniques.
Basic tip is find somebody else who can throw knives and don't try and do it on your own at home. If you do try it at home, you'll probably be using the wrong techniques, you'll probably be using the wrong knives, and the first thing is, I'll keep stressing it, safety, safety, safety. Try and find somebody else. Certainly contact me through our club, send me an email, give me a ring, whatever, no problem. I'll put you on to somebody in the UK who I know can throw quite successfully. It doesn't have to be accurately, it just has to be, as long as you use the same consistent distance, technique and the same knife every time, then you can start to achieve, after some time, some accuracy. But the main thing is safety, safety. As I say, don't buy these little small 6, 7, 8 inches knives off the internet. They are little accidents waiting to happen.
And I did hear a little thing, you're going to show us how to throw some nails later.
Nails, 6-inch nails, we can throw those no problem. We'll be throwing some other 8-inch nails, but that's a completely different technique. It's by, instead of making the actual knives or axes spin in the air, when I show you the 8-inch nails, they will not spin through the air. Quite seriously, I was taught this by martial artists who train in the art of being ninjas.
So you're a mini ninja then?
No, I'm a 6'4" ninja. I'm not a mini ninja, no, definitely not. No, it was just something I was taught, or in fact I actually went over to a school in Manchester, martial arts school, went over there about 3 years ago. I had been practicing this technique on my own. A grand master turned up from Spain, showed everybody how to throw. They'd never seen it before. I just turned up because they wanted to see how to make knives spin. I just turned out as a sort of guest. He then turned up and said, this is how you throw these bow shurikens, as they call them. He said, everybody have a go. And I started throwing and making them stick. And he just says, where have you learnt this art? It's a secret. I says, I am self-taught. I have just worked out how to do it.
Yeah.
He said, and he shook my hand and says, very well done.
And these nails are just like your everyday B&Q Wickes nails?
The 6-inch nails literally leave the heads on. The 8-inch nails, I merely take the heads off. So I literally throw a rod of steel that's 8 inches long with a little tip on the end of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
My last question.
Sorry, you're going to move up to rebar at some point?
Rebar's easy, it's big. That's easy to throw, no problem. In fact, just going back at anything to throw, in our small tournament that we have in the UK, at the end of every tournament we have what we call the anything throw. I turn up with a hold all, 12, 15 items in it. They're all marked, numbers 1 through to 12, whatever. You then choose out of playing cards 5 of those items, so you don't know what you're going to throw. We throw screwdrivers, long-nosed pliers, crowbars, a pickaxe head, just anything with a tip on it, and just see how many people can make those stick in the target. Yeah. So we call that.
She sounds like a fun way to end a scout
That's
weekend.
what we call that, the anything throw, because you can be throwing virtually anything. As long as it's got some sort of tip on the end of it, you can make it stick. Yeah. But I'll say it again, rounding off the conversation, safely. Learn from somebody who knows what they're doing, or else you will have an accident.
Good tip. So my last question is, when you look at the target,
yes,
who do you picture? I'm picturing the, mother-in-law. I know I'm saying it, she doesn't listen to this. So mother-in-law, aggression.
I don't picture anybody there at the target, although I have used that technique sometimes to show especially young girls how to throw. They just don't throw very hard. Sometimes I say to them, picture your worst boyfriend stood there, and you'd be surprised how many times that works.
Ray, last question.
Last question. Top 3 safety tips.
Top 3 safety tips. The first one has to be learn from somebody who knows what they're doing, or else you will have an accident, okay? Always use a very substantial target where you know the knives will actually stick in the target and not bounce back at you. And whatever you throw, they can actually, whilst you're throwing, hit each other on the board and cause a little burr, a little spike on the end of your knife in your handle. So always check the knives before you throw them, or else you'll hurt your hands.
Just while you're talking about targets, what wood would you recommend for targets?
Wood, any sort of end of a tree trunk, a log made out of willow, pine, poplar, anything that's a nice soft target. Failing that, if you can't get those sort of targets, scaffolding boards. Put them up, form a 4-foot square, 3-foot square, whatever, and throw into that sort of target.
Excellent. Nice one.
The next thing is, though, just remember, always start off throwing via the handle. If you try to throw them by the blade, you're going to be stood too near the target when you first start. Then you will have your accident. So always throw from a minimum of 3 metres when you first start. Then there's virtually no chance they'll come back and hit you. Yeah.
Cool. Jeffrey has just appeared. You got any questions, Jeffrey?
No.
Whoa! First time ever Jeffrey's not talking.
Speechless.
I'm impressed.
He's tired, he's the old man, he's tired.
We should
The old man's over there. The old man's there.
Another old man.
We'll just keep the recorder on the way home.
Eh?
You just keep the recorder on the way home.
All I'm going to say is thank you very much, John. It's been really entertaining and very informative.
I thought you would have taken this chance to brag about winning the spaghetti competition.
Oh,
You
yes,
think
the
I'm
spaghetti
going to brag?
competition.
I'm not going to brag. It was a fluke. I'll readily admit that. Although I did win
You heard it here.
the spaghetti competition.
We're not going to edit that bit out either.
You're not?
No.
I think you should.
Well, once again, John, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. It's been a great
My pleasure.
day.
Thank you very much.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Big Man in the Woods with Mark Yates.
Big Man in the Woods.
So there we are. Cool interview, hey? I hope you are now enticed and, that sounds a quite cool, fun thing to do. Head over to the website knifethrowing.co.uk to send John an email or find out or any other information. And if you want to speak to me, ask me any questions, that's really cool. Head over to the website bigmaninthewoods.co.uk. Cool. So there we are. We'll wrap that up for another episode. As I said before the interview, can you go over to iTunes and Stitcher and leave me a really nice comment? That'll be fantastic. And subscribe. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to the email listing, there's a few places left for your chance to win the Snug Pack Jungle Hammock. Head over to the website bigmaninthewoods.co.uk, click on win prizes, subscribe to the email list, and you never know, you might be winning that podcast hammock. Yeah. So next podcast, I think, might be at the Bushcraft Show 2015. I'm not sure. We'll try and squeeze one in before that. If not, I will see you there at the Bushcraft. I'm hosting the main stage. Come over, say hello, and I'll buy you a beer or something. So there we are. Cool. I hope you have a nice April. Get out there, out and about, camping as much as you can, in the back garden, fire lighting, whatever you can do. Get out there and enjoy it. And I'll see you next time here on Big Man in the Woods.